In Chapter 1 of the Loot series, we talked about the Yardangs, the hotspots, and a general history of the desert. In this video, I'll talk about an unusual story of this desert that baffled the archaeologists for many years. Let's begin. This is a flag. It is one of the first flags in human history, and it dates back to 2500 BC, and it was discovered right on this desert. On this flag you can see a person sitting in the middle while everyone else is sitting around him, and very likely they are the servants of this man. At the bottom there are 3 animals. Also on this flag there are several trees and a sun. It looks like they are trying to tell a story, but we do not know what that is. They posted the flag right outside their town. So let's go find their town. We are now heading towards the main town of this desert, the town of Shahdad, with a whole bunch of historical sites. We can see the 4,500-year-old town. This site was excavated in 1968. It was a workshop for manufacturing bronze. These people were experts in extracting copper from the mountains nearby, bringing them here and producing bronze. The flag was made out of bronze. This was an advanced civilization. And that's not the only historical site of Shahdad. There are a bunch more. Here is another one for you. We were beginning to wonder, how could ancient civilizations thrive on one of the world's hottest, driest, and saltiest deserts? To find some clues, I'm gonna head to the mountains on the west side of the desert. Where the white hand is pointing at is where I am standing right now. It's a little hard to believe that there is a ski resort in this area. 40 kilometers away we have the world's hottest place, and over here we have snow. We're now moving back towards the desert through the mountains, and I want you to pay attention how the climate is changing rapidly. We've been driving for about 5 minutes and there is very little snow left on the mountains. And everything is getting drier and drier until we arrive at a village named Sirch, a village with a very interesting climate. Behind those mountains is the beginning of the deserts, and on the opposite side you can see the mountains where we just came out from. When people of the desert want to escape the extreme heat of the summer, they come to this village. When people of the mountains want to escape the freezing temperatures of the winters, they come to this village. In the far you can spot a tree, a very old tree, about 1200 years old, and the tree has been feeding on this river, a river that is going through the last stages of its life. As you may know, Middle East is drying up. So we continue the path towards Shahdad, and along the way I spot another source of water. Where you have mountains, you have rivers. And most of the world's civilizations have originated from the river basin areas. Now this river is gradually drying up, but in the old days it used to have a lot more water. It originates from the mountains and it goes straight into the desert. The mountains provided the west side of this desert with some humidity, moderate temperature, and some rivers as well. Now combine that with a whole bunch of arable lands around the town of Shahdad, and you have the foundation set up for one of the earliest civilizations of the Bronze Age to settle and grow in this area. And this is where we spend the night. It looks like I woke her up. Thousands of years later, and these people are still experts in working with the copper, forming it into all kinds of shapes. As we were saying goodbye to the desert, there was a thought that was spinning around in my head. Since thousands of years ago, civilizations were thriving on this desert. But in the past century, temperatures began to rise, rivers began drying up, and arable lands were being lost. Today, without modern technologies, life on this desert is extremely uncomfortable. Could this happen again? 1,000 years from now, could people be walking in the middle of a giant desert, and then they discover that it wasn't always a desert? It was a grassland with rivers, streams, lakes, and even ancient civilizations that once ruled the area.